You might see that title and think, you're crazy. Why? First off, I need to define my terms. So there are some days when I've walked more than 19,000 steps. There are some days when I've walked less. But since January 2nd, 2013, when I got my first Fitbit, I've averaged a little bit more than 19,000 steps a day. And you might be wondering, why? Why? Why would you do that? It's a great question. And I've even wondered that myself. And so I thought of, why do I do that? And came up with 5 answers, 5 reasons why I've walked 19,000 steps a day since 2013. And I've actually ranked them in importance from 1 to 5. And I'm going to give them to you in reverse order. And I suspect that reason number 1, you're actually going to find a little surprising. You might even disagree with it. Before we get started, my name is Dave. If you're new to this channel, not a doctor, not a licensed personal trainer. I'm a guy who wants to encourage and motivate as many people as possible to use walking as a fitness activity. That's why I've started a daily 10-minute podcast, Walking is Fitness. I record each episode while I'm out walking, so it's not me in a studio saying, you should go walk. And those who listen to it say that adds some encouragement and some motivation to build that fitness habit using walking. So why do I walk 19,000 steps a day and have since January 2nd, 2013? Reason number 5, walking is a great way to come up with ideas, to be creative, to find solutions to problems. And this, by the way, is research-based. I have found over and over and over again that when I need an idea, when I need a solution, that heading out and taking a walk almost always provides, if not the full solution, at least the next step that points me in the right direction. And so that's one of the reasons why I walk as much as I do. It's just a great way to come up with ideas, to be creative, to find solutions to problems. Number 4, walking is a great stress reducer. It lowers anxiety. It helps me deal with frustration. And again, this is also research-based. Research indicates that if you're feeling stress, if you're feeling anxiety, taking a walk can be a great antidote to that. And there are times when I need that. And maybe you've even felt this too. And perhaps you don't think of it in those terms. It's more, there's frustration or there's stress and you say or think, I just need to go take a walk. Need to go out. I need to stretch my legs. And so you go take a walk, and usually what happens is you feel better. Because again, that's research-based. And so that's reason number 4 why I've walked 19,000 steps a day since January 2nd, 2013. Reason number 3, it's a great connection. A great connection for me and my wife, Ava. We've been married more than 40 years, and we love walking together. We have some of our best conversations when we're out walking. And there have been times when we faced stressful situations, maybe even frustration with each other. And getting out and walking and talking about that has been huge. In 2018, Ava was diagnosed with breast cancer. In those early days and weeks, when we still didn't know what the full diagnosis was, the prognosis was, when we were still waiting for test results, very stressful. We took quite a few walks, heading out and talking through, well, quite frankly, the different scenarios. How are we going to handle this if it comes back and tells us this? How are we going to handle this other possible scenario? In fact, we were actually out walking when Ava got the call from her doctor giving us the official diagnosis that, yes, it is breast cancer. And so every day, my wife and I walk together, sometimes several times a day, and it's just a great way to connect with each other, to keep that relationship strong. And so that's reason number 3. And by the way, that's not the only way. It's not like we're sitting around the house quiet and we only talk when we're walking, but it has been a powerful way to connect and to deepen that relationship. Reason number 2, the health benefits. Huge health benefits. One of my goals is to age well. And that includes remaining as healthy as possible, as mobile as possible as I get older. And again, research-based, walking can lower the risk of an early death. It can lower the risk of some really bad diseases, cardio disease, dementia, type 2 diabetes, even some cancers. And as we get older, it's important to keep moving, to stay active, so that we can keep moving and staying active. And so that's a huge reason why I've walked as much as I do. But here's the thing, you don't need 19,000 steps a day for the health benefits, not even close. So that alone certainly couldn't explain why I walk as much as I do, why I walk 19,000 steps a day and have since January 2nd, 2013. And so reason number 1, the biggest reason why I walk as much as I do is because it's pleasurable. I find pleasure in walking. Almost every time as I head out the front door, there's a physical, emotional sense of pleasure as I'm beginning that walk. Many times, in fact, just the other day I was out walking and it was a long walk and the entire walk was enjoyable. It was fun, but it was pleasurable. I was feeling pleasure as I was walking and I didn't want to go back home. I was enjoying it that much. I was feeling the pleasure that much. And you know, I've even wondered and have asked the question, if all these other benefits, the creative solution ideas, the lowering stress and anxiety, the conversations with Ava, the connection with Ava, the health benefits of walking, if none of that existed, would I still walk? Would I still walk as much as I do? And the answer is yes. Yes, I would. And it's not about the number. I don't look at my Fitbit and go, okay, I'm a little short today. I need to go out and get some more steps. I walk because it's pleasure. It's enjoyment. And it's fun. If you're thinking about beginning a new fitness journey of walking for exercise, and maybe even in the past you have struggled with getting started, because that's hard. Starting is hard. Sticking with it is even harder. I want to invite you to check out my podcast, Walking is Fitness. Every day, there's a brand new 10-minute episode. The goal is to help you get out the door and create a fitness habit using walking. Wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever app you're using, tap in Walking is Fitness, and you'll find the podcast. Choose an episode that looks interesting to you, and if you like what you hear, I would also invite you to follow the podcast. Each episode would then be automatically delivered to your phone, waiting for you. And I know with Apple, at least, they also send you a notification, which can be not only an invitation for a daily walk, but also a reminder. Because in those early days of creating a habit, sometimes if you're like me, you just forget. Oh yeah, I was going to take that walk. Well, you get that reminder from Apple Podcasts, there's a new episode. It's an invitation for a 10-minute walk. Thank you for watching, and I hope we can walk together using my podcast, Walking is Fitness.